Why don't we talk to our neighbors anymore? A new survey finds that a trend we've all experienced has deepened just in the last 10 or so years. A Washington, D.C. think tank surveyed more than 5,000 Americans last year about how they interact with their neighbors. What they found was this: as people spend more time online, their neighborhoods, once places where real-world socializing happened, play less of a role than ever. Only 40% of Americans said they talked to a neighbor at least a few times a week. As recently as 2012, nearly 60% said they did. That's a big decline in this kind of informal socializing. Even more troubling was the age gap the survey revealed. The most rapid decline in neighborliness was experienced by young adults. In 2012, more than 50% of young adults said they talked to a neighbor a few times a week. These days, only 25% do. Why does this matter? Neighborly interactions are important to overall well-being, not just for individuals, but for their communities. Studies have shown that social interactions with neighbors and others are essential to good health. They also help build the resilience of communities when they're faced with disasters like tornadoes, floods, fires, and economic downturns. But some communities are trying to change that trend. We found one in the Cincinnati neighborhood of Westwood, where the Westwood Common Good Project has been meeting in a church basement to build the connections that create and empower communities. On the Saturday morning we met, about 20 people gathered to talk about how the arts can sustain communities. They made valuable connections with a young couple that has invested in the neighborhood, converted an empty warehouse into an artist studio and classroom space. It was neighbors talking to neighbors, supporting each other, sharing ideas for building a better community. It was one small effort to be sure, but one that will resonate beyond just that Saturday morning get-together.